So, hello guys, it's been a while now it's August again. So, yeah, now here what you can see is the the first announcement. I think we should go with that. The first announcement is I changed the home system to ES system. I renamed it. And the reason is quite simple because I went to GitHub and I typed home system and I saw there's a similar project. It's not really similar, but there's similar in name, and what they are planning to do is something similar that somehow acts like a system for their home or something. So yeah, I renamed it to ES system to just make it unique and kind of not make sure just make sure it won't crash in the future. And the second thing is I also created another channel in YouTube, and that's specifically for this EA system. And yeah, for your information, I named it EA is because of the Japanese word of the house, and you translate this EA, and it's actually IE and then CIS, it's that simple. And yeah, so from now on, I'm not going to talk so much about this EA system on this channel. I think I'm going to focus on the development process or what my recent work, like what I have been doing for this month, and all of all of the hard works and all of the conflicts on coding or whatever thing I met, all the difficulties and the technologies or whatever. It's just going to be kind of random, but also mainly about tech or just knowledge, just something to be distributed, and not really about politics or something. So yeah, you won't see me talk about politics or human relations about some big company or something. Yeah, that's not going to happen here. And yeah, I think that's it. So for demonstration, I think I just keep the link to I just put the link below in the description box for the ES system, which I'll go in depth about the changes or anything. But for the development process, yeah, I think as you can see, there's masking on it, and mainly is for security because I also went around and watch some of those YouTube videos from some other guys, and quite some of them are quite useful and have changed my direction of developing and everything, not everything but something. And in fact, for the last month, what I have been struggling and implementing is actually I'm actually implementing a library for myself for using creating AI with using Java. Normally people just use Python and then have a backend with so-called C, but in fact most of their scripts are written in the Python. Even the maths function, all of those parameters that they tweak, all of those algorithms that they write, all of them are in Python. So and there's so much error and issues going on there, and I'm kind of tired of that. So I just thought why not, and just give myself a chance to work from the base and rework everything as I go. And of course I also aim to make it as fast as possible, but as of now I just use the basic array as neurons and the weights, those connections, so it's still quite simple now and not really that high performance or something, but I think it should be generally better than some of those that have implemented, I think. I mean, like, yeah, generally most people would use list or something, and when I see that and they have like this very convoluted setup, like you have list, and then when you actually create a neuron layer or so called, just imagine that as like a set, or a list of neuron with like many properties in it. Normally when they create it, they also do a lot of overweight, like they had a lot of overhead lah, honestly. Like it's not a big deal if you're just creating one or two, and in fact it's never probably not going to be a big deal even if you scale it up until like GPT-2 size. You have like, I don't know, like median or something. But yeah, I think there's difference, but of course, like most people won't notice it and won't bother with it, because the time you invest using Java and those statics. But for me, I thought, and I think about it for a while lah. But honestly, I think it should be something. If you're going to make something special, then the first thing you must do is to make sure it works in any cases. There's no runtime changes. Like you don't want to have like unpredictable behavior. I mean, like not really unpredictable. Like by unpredictable, Java is also kind of unpredictable because of the garbage collector. But in a way that's predictable for at least the programmer, I would say. Like the syntax and the sequence and the meaning that you gave it, like for example, when you type something like a equals to 1, and you wanted it to be a integer, but because you use dynamic, this dynamic language, so of course, runtime could change and the specification could change. But normally, of course, you could argue that, yeah, it won't change, bro. If it changed like the basic, like the Python, the integer, those very fundamental stuff, it's not going to be called Python anymore. Of course, right? It's stupid if like you change the language, and like how the definition of these basic functions and these basic units and definition, all of it, you just change and you still call it Python. Of course, it wouldn't make sense. But yeah, I think I had conveyed that meaning to a degree. I know, like up until for this is like a very simple case, but when you're working like in a very large scale, right, and there's no checking and there's no compiler checks, and when you're making it very large, like as you can see, actually you can just go to the TensorFlow GitHub page and you can just look at their issues, man. Like there's 1,000, man, like 1,000 of them, and there's like also like many of it that are unsolved. Of course, there's like, I mean, probably 100 of them that are just random issues, or just maybe then there's like beginners issues, like, yeah. But the point is there lah. It's not that consistent, and I wouldn't want to use it for like serious work, or like my home system, when I needed it. I wanted it to work and very well and fast. I mean, for the performance hit, as you can see, I already have like chosen Java. It's not C, neither is like any of those like compile language. If I use Rust, Pascal, anything, just compile, purely just compile, just ahead of time compile language, it will just perform probably so much better. Of course, Java also have like the ahead of time compiler, I think, like, yeah, recently. But yeah, the performance is of course not on par lah. If it's on par with like C, then probably, of course, I mean, like everyone would just use it probably. But of course, I think like there's no real benefits lah, because using Java with C like the library is very bloated, and they recently included like the J-Link. It's like a command line tool, for you to make like a minimalistic environment, for like the Java, because Java is like a virtual machine language, man. So yeah, of course they need to make an environment, but of course they use this tool to make it like give the users or all of us practically is open source. I mean, yeah. So they gave the ability to all of us to make like a minimal environment. But the thing is, even my home system or my ES system is not using it to package or something. And do you know what's the reason? The reason is simple, because the setup is actually not that easy, and actually for me personally I feel that it's a bit convoluted and very confusing. So let me show you an example. So okay, yeah, so now as you can see, this is like one of the parts, like one of my, I mean like my explorer, what you can see here. Yeah, okay, so I had already cut part of it. Okay, so and yeah, as you can see, it's the asset. And yeah, don't worry, I mean this is distributed to whoever had like pay for it. So yeah, I don't really mind it. So okay, yeah, so here you go. Here's the assets, the libraries, the JDKs and everything, man. Okay, and here's what I have done. So see, there's like this source folder, and of course the naming could change, and it all depends on whether you are just new to the command line tools or whatever. And here's like the user configuration file, and here's the patch file, nothing more. The user configuration file, well, if you wanted to know more, just refer to the ES system videos or something. And yeah, so here, look at this. They need you to have like a file for you to like describe whatever it is, like module info, like, because they treat it as a module. There's like many terms, like there's like the class, from the basic building blocks. You can like make it like a very contained file or something. This is a good way to help you manage things. And yeah, of course it would just benefit everybody practically. But yeah, the thing is, right, when something is not really documented, it's actually a bit hard to work on. So here you can see like this. Normally when say I give you a tool like a screwdriver or something, and I told you you could like use this to turn something really fast, you would then, look at that, look at that size. If you're stupid or whatever, I don't blame you. Then probably most people that are stupid will just like take it and then be like, the first thing they ask is like, I don't know what to do with it, right? And normally the first thing you do is to just show them a screw. Just show them a screw as a starting point. Okay, and I think the first thing they have failed to do in like the Java or Oracle thing, like the company, the documentation, is basically not telling you this. You need the module info, not Java. That's the first thing. Okay, and never mind that. Okay, so even if you have this, you know that you need this screw. So what is the specific screw that, right? For example, you have like a screwdriver with like whatever size, half inch, 1 inch, whatever. Okay, so you would probably make sense to just think like, oh yeah, this the one he gave me doesn't fit. In case it fits, then it's lucky. It's like a probability thing, and it's not consistent. You can just hope on it, or just depend on it. So the first thing you also need to do is to just introduce them how to obtain like the suitable one for you, right? Like the suitable screw. Okay, So the suitable module info Java this file, right? Also, they also fail to do it. What you need to do is like practically just go Google and go online and like search for, I don't know, one day or something, and hope you can search some things that relevant. And yeah, this is practically what I've done in waste like 1 or 2 days. If you ask me if is that stupid or not, and I will say yeah, that's stupid. And I mean, yeah, humankind. I mean, like modern software engineers probably are just a bit lazy on doing documentation. Even myself, man, like, because we are trained to just automate things, but documentation is one of the things we cannot automate that much. We cannot fully automate. And okay, so never mind that. So let's go on. So you know that okay, if you have created a suitable module info.java, so now how do you use it? How do you use it? Then now you will get very confused. Okay? So now you have your project, you have this module, you did have this file that states whatever you need. Okay, and then you have your libraries, you have so many things you need to do. Okay, or you need to check, or whatever you depend on. Say for example, like just imagine if you're compiling C. Okay, now currently our generation, normally we have like compiler linkers, and they may come bundled or whatever, or they may just do it actually sequentially in the background. Okay, so imagine one day C just introduce a new thing, and they introduce a new phase. But then the thing, so now what would you do? Ignacio, say you have this declaration file that led you to like somehow describe that phase, what the phase need to do. Just like playing a golf. It's a manual that tells you how to play a golf. Okay, but now here's the thing. There's like this place where you need to register, right? Like where's the registration point for you to tag your hockey? And then how do you use it bundled? Like you need to like give your hockey to the counter or something. You have probably, what normal human would do is just ask around. Okay, ask around. And it's the same thing as like in like googling. Like it's the same thing, but but the thing is, the relevant information is practically like, for googling, it's practically like broadcasting, like, or like, a huge announcement that lets other replies you with like WhatsApp or something. So yeah, the information you can get is actually quite limited lah. And so now normally people like would say, oh yeah, you're probably stupid. Normally you could just like, there's like command line options, and official documentation would of course provide you with that. And yeah, in fact I think they did. But the thing is, when you have this, okay, so I have this module info.java. Okay, and the thing is, when I need to package it, what about my other dependencies? It's not as simple as like using one screw only. Like using a chord is like creating an application, is like taking like many things of system and piecing it together. Just imagine like an electrical circuit. There's like many electrical components, like, and you have like this automation that just automatically just build all of these electrical components into a final component. And it's very complicated. And there's like, they don't really have like a very good guide, like, to how to like, like, for example, like, oh okay, so the first thing you do, for example, when you only have like one file, you do this. Okay, then if you have like one depend on another, you do this, then so on. Or if you have, and you just continue explaining it, right? Normally, if like, this is the best documentation, I think probably this is what I would define. But they fail to do that, and it's very confusing. I mean, I probably could see like the final result if like I just put more effort, and of course effort, and you just get more information. Of course I would like have like the final result with like the result I needed lah. But yeah, it's like a very huge thing to do, man. Like I honestly like questions like it's like practically giving you, just imagine, just I would say, yeah, just imagine C, but without all of those documents that states like what is an integer, how many bytes or bits are they, what is the basic standard function, what is the compiler, what is the command line option for compiler, and what you should generally do with it, and what's the final result, and what's the meaning. If there's like no such documentation, man, it's practically just like my situation, and the documentation I think could probably exist, but it's not really well known, or like it's like very obvious, or there's like a very official way of like development portal or something like that. Like I think like since the OpenJDK, and like the split between the proprietary Java and the open source Java release, like there's like many conflicts here and there, everything has like need to like keep it like stop for a while and do those documents. But I think like I'm not quite sure, is it my fault or their fault lah. I think it's probably even no one's fault, but just simply the nature or something. But it might as well be. But I think like generally documentations lah, I have like struggled with it like for like I don't know, like 2 or 3 days, going online, wasting a day, and then like stressing out like, why can't I do this. I thought like it's very easy. Like for example, like when you compile a C, just generally when you go to like GNU or something, you can find like GCC there's like the official documentation. They do told you like you need to link, okay, and there's like the full command line options there, even though they also don't give examples, and I don't really know why. Like honestly, man, like examples are powerful, okay. So normally you will know when you look at somebody and they gave a speech, normally they will just give, for example, and then like when you look at app itself, for example, like my app, actually an example, like it shows you, and it's like a trial, it's a feeling of, you can get the taste of it, and you can like kind of know, even if you are not sure what you're doing, you could try it and you could verify it. It's a human instinct, it's part of it's like kind of built into our human mind by education or something. So I think that should be utilized well, but sadly I think like most companies, or like this our software engineering development, have like really lack it. Like it's more like the current generation is just like just piling through all of your projects, man, just creating a bunch of things, just it's like practically creating as many rockets as you can, while just using your memory and doing some as little documentations as you needed lah, I would say. And I honestly am questioning these decisions that we made during our daily life for software engineers. And I think that's it for today. Thank you.